Hello and welcome to On the Move, a show about what's going on in Hampton Roads featuring community leaders who are moving the region forward. I'm Thomas Becker with Hampton Roads Transit, and today we're at our Norfolk garage. Do you have what it takes to operate a bus? Let's talk to some pros to find out. Well, HRT is celebrating the 25th anniversary since the voluntary merger between Peninsula Transit, or PenTran, and Tidewater Transit to form HRT. And I'm joined today by two operators who were here before the merger and continue to serve our customers today. Welcome, Lynette McDaniel and Gary Tate. Lynette, we'll start with you. Tell us about your journey as a bus operator and how did you get started?
Well, it wasn't something that was in the makings. I was unemployed, and my unemployment money was about to run out. So I just came here and filled out the application. And the week before it was to run out, they called me. And I was surprised. I didn't realize that I could drive something as big as a bus because I wanted to drive the vans. But my instructor said, Lynette, you can do this. And I became a bus operator.
Gary, tell us about your story.
Well, I'm originally from New York City, and me and the wife used to come down here several times out the year, and I saw an app online to apply for the job. I applied for it, but the Charlie came first. So when the season ended for the Charlie division, they said, if you want to stay in Hampton or the beach. So I decided the beach, and from that point on, it's been smooth sailing.
This is for both of you. What do you like about your job? What keeps you going after all these years? This time we'll start here.
Well, you do meet some good people on the bus. Some, not all. But it's like a big, overlarge family. You see some folks until the shift change, board change, and still keep in contact.
As for me, I really enjoy doing what I do because if I didn't, I would not be here, which is October of this year, be 37 years. It's called patience. You have to have patience. You have to know what to say and how to say it to these passengers. Is it something that the more you do it, the better you become? And I feel as though at this point in my life, I am an awesome bus driver. I am. We just changed runs, and I was working the route 14 and the 24. I received bouquets of flowers from my passengers. Driving for this company, you have to have it in your heart to do. You know, of course, your coworkers gonna say this, and this, and a lot of negative things, but that's okay. But it's all what you put into it and what you say out of your mouth that makes your day an awesome day.
Well said. Thank you. Tell us about, it's been 3 decades plus. Tell us about how the job has changed over the years. If you think about technology, if you think about systems and routes expanding, that sort of thing. We'll start over here.
Yes, routes have changed, have been cut, but that's what you call being patient and adjusting to that point. But you don't get used to the same route, for 5, 6 months. There's always going to be a change. Technology has changed here drastically. Some got kinks, but it's still, you got to adjust to it. You could drive a bus today and there's something wrong with it tomorrow. But there's always an adjustment period. You just can't come in and expect to know what's going on. So you got to walk through it. But it has changed a lot, especially with the radios, communications. Certain buttons you got to press that you're going to press by mistake, but you just got to adjust to that moment because if you don't, you'll get a call.
Well, I want to say as the buses, our buses are so much better than when I came in. When I first started working here, we had no power steering. And now we got power steering. Back then to turn the bus with no power steering and stop on the brakes. You had to pretty much stand up to put your foot on the brake to stop it and turn at the same time. So I love it now. I love it because I can take one finger and whip like that, but I'm not supposed to. But I can do it, but I'm not supposed to. Yes, it's not a habit, but I keep in mind because I have to drive the way I taught when I was in training. I was a teacher in training, so I have to have both hands on the wheels and be that professional person that I am. But I mean, I think about things like that. I'm like, wow, look at it now. We have grown to be, I think, an awesome company. Things takes time, and I've seen a whole lot of serious changes, big changes, changes I don't like, but changes. But I just have to go with the flow.
You mentioned some of the challenges of being on the road every day. What have been some of the challenges that come to your mind over the years as an operator?
First, preventable accidents. That will ruin your whole day. But some in some cases, to have your first accident is like, okay, I'm good, but still, you gotta have patience for one. And certain buses you can't drive the way you want to drive them. Otherwise, you just ruin your whole entire day. Or I tell people I used to train, take a deep breath, calm down. It's gonna be all right. Just focus on the route. Time points, just look, hold the bus down because you only have it for 8 hours. It's not your bus. Just calm down, take a deep breath, start up again. Just don't go out there and drive a bus like you know what you're doing, but you don't.
One thing I do know is that when you're in your car, you have the rights of the road. You know, if you're in front of that person, you're on the interstate and you're already up there, somebody has to get up there, they have to yield to you.
You do go through a lot. If you think about drivers on the road and what you have to face, can you imagine the frustration from a driver perspective? But you have to keep your calm, keep your cool, and safety first. It's not easy. What advice do you have for new operators?
Look into a mentor or find the right driver that can give you a positive note. Because some drivers here don't like training folks and they put in their head negative, and that's not going to work. The company will hire you, but the drivers you connect with here, with on the positive note, get with somebody you feel comfortable with. If you start hearing negativity, you just walk away because it's not going to help you at all. You got 8 hours or 10 hours on the bus. You don't want to hear negative, you want to hear positive. Rather than just go out there and like I said, the customers are looking at you first because you got a target on your back or on your chest. And you're the first person to come to as far as advice. You can't drive the bus and say, well, driver, I'm trying to get here. I don't want to hear it. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, as far as a new person coming in, my goal is to make sure that that person stays here. This is what I do. Because if that person stays here, eventually our mandatory will be gone. The overtime is going to always be here, but it may not be as much, but it will be here. And I've given my phone number out to so many people, you know, because that's just what I do. I was on vacation. Well, not vacation. I went out of town this past weekend, and one of the drivers called me to ask me about a route. I don't have any problems. I don't have a certain time where you can call me. Don't call me after that time. And right now, I live so far away. I've had them to get lost, let's say out South Norfolk, and that's about 20 minutes away from me. And I come. And I come and get them back on the right track, so that, they can go ahead and, continue to drive. I don't want them, of course, they're going to be upset. They're going to be nervous. But one thing, I don't want them to have that confidence, that overconfidence. Oh, I got this. I know what I'm doing. Because I tell them, blink your eye.
Right.
That's just how quick something would take place. So I want these people to come here and I want them to stay. If I can say something that's going to make you stay and get some serious years, that's what I want to do.
Certainly a good role model here. One last question. What makes this a great career? So what would you tell someone considering this as a career?
This company, you could move around, not just thing as a driver or dispatcher, because you got dispatch behind the glass that was drivers went back there. But then when they do that, they decide, well, call this driver. He's on the bus. He can help you out, or she can help you out. Rather than go out there blindfolded, you can move around any department. Light rail, same thing. Dispatcher, whatever. Marketing, you can always move around. But as a driver, you feel more comfortable because you've been doing this so long. You do get comfortable, but don't get too relaxed. But you come here on a serious note, you can have a good day. But there's gonna be one time where it's gonna be one person that's gonna like upset you. But if you don't let it escalate, you can just calm down and say, look, sir, ma'am, it's gonna be all right. But it's not a walk in the park here. You gotta start somewhere.
First of all, I would say you in the door now. You in the house. Right now you're starting off as being a bus operator. I said, but the good thing is you maintain a good report about you. Then if you see something else, apply for it because you're already in here. Because it's a little easier to apply in-house versus you be out of house. And just take your time if this is not what you want. Don't rush to go and jump into something else that's really not what you want either. The money is good right now because the overtime and the mandatory is right there. But I'm in a spot that I don't have to do the mandatory. But I do a little something one day. But it's just, it could be a good place to say, hey, this is my home. I mean, I'm starting a new home here. The benefits, the insurance, the raises. I mean, it's an awesome job, but it's all about what you want.
Well said. And thank you for your service to the community, for being the face toward the customer. We appreciate that. And thank you for all you do to keep the communities moving and safe as well. So thank you for joining us here on the Move and sharing your story. If you have what it takes to become a bus operator or mechanic, check out our career fairs this spring and summer. Details at gohrt.com. If you'd like to hear from others about our 25th anniversary, there's a link in the description below. Thank you for joining us on the Move. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. See you again soon.